Good afternoon. Today is, what is it, June 20th, 2017. I want to wish you all a really happy solstice. I actually don't need this hat on, or this bandana for that matter. I mean, I don't need my neck bandana on. I guess I can just leave it on. It doesn't really make a big difference. So anyway, yeah, today is the day that summer arrived, and it arrived a while ago at around 11 o'clock. No, it was between 11 and 12, so it was about somewhere near 11:30. It might have been 11:20 something. For all I know, it might have been 11:24 a.m. U.S. Central Time, and that's where I am. I live east of the Mississippi River, but not too far east of it, in the St. Louis area. But I live in Illinois, and that's where I am right now. I'm at a really nice park, and it's in O'Fallon, Illinois. It's called the O'Fallon Family Sports Park or something like that. And so I'm here at this really nice park. I'll just give you a quick 360-degree view of the park here, and it's really pretty nice. So I'm out here, and absolutely beautiful day. I don't know what the temperature is going to be. It must be pretty hot. I'm going to take a break here. I'll be back. Okay. Well, I had somebody, so I couldn't really talk. I mean, I felt inhibited. You know how it is. You know, you get somebody coming up, walking around you, and that has happened here before. But basically, I thought I would just do this interesting little challenge, if you will, and that is just get out here and just say whatever I can. I mean, whatever comes to my mind. So I really didn't have anything planned, and that's the funny part about it. And you wonder, so where do good creative ideas come from? Well, everything that we know of, it comes from our own experiences. You know, like we just take things and we put them together differently, or we just come up with new ideas, but everything is based on our own knowledge and experiences from reality and everything, and our thinking. Our thinking itself is based on our experiences and reality. So basically, I was trying to come up with a really good idea for a video, and I guess I was pretty tired. I had sort of a busy morning, and I wasn't really coming up with anything, but I was just trying to see, how do we come up with stuff? I mean, it's not as if these ideas just come to you out of the sky. I mean, I guess you could get an idea looking at the sky and thinking about the clouds, but where ideas come from, they come from inside. I guess we use our minds to create new ideas, and it's very important if you want to make good YouTube videos. I guess there are many things that are important in making good YouTube videos, but one of them is, I guess, creativity, the ability to think about, think up some ideas and put them into practice, when making videos. So I honestly, for me to talk about this, and say, well, so today I'm going to talk about creativity itself because I can't come up with anything, and that's kind of about nothing, when you think about it. I mean, it's like, making a movie about a movie camera or something, it's not really about anything else, but it's, some songs are like that, like songs are about songs or about music, or they sound like they are sometimes in some funny ways. But yeah, I've got some background noise out here. There's lots of stuff going on in this park today, and as you can see, it's really beautiful out here, and that's just great. So I thought also I would take a notice. I'm under this pavilion. I'll show you what it all looks like. So you got this, I don't know if there are wasp nests up there, but maybe they take care of those. But I'm in this sort of this outdoor thing that keeps me from getting into the sun too much. So I'm not actually out in the sun. Did I give you a 360-degree representation? So I'm in the shade. That's why I took my hat off. I'm in the shade, and it's really nice. I got this nice, shade, and it's cool. I got a cool breeze going through here. It's really wonderful, and this is a great park, but it's just too sunny for me to be, standing out in the sun without any reason. So I thought I would come in here, but I'm out. I'm just checking out some stores, taking a break from studying and everything, and just went into some stores, looking around. I'm going to buy some food, and I'm going to go into Best Buy. I saw this deal. They had this deal for one of those power banks. It's not like a big power bank, but with a charging cable. $1.99. It was like on sale, and they had a while back. They had the same thing for like the cables only, but probably a longer cable. $1.99, but this comes with the power bank and the cable. $1.99. It's greatly discounted. Maybe I'll show this in the video after I get it. I think I'm going to get that today. And this will be my first power bank ever. These power banks are these new fads, and like I said, it's not a big, powerful one, but I've never had a power bank before. But it can extend your battery life if you're out in the field and you can't get to an electrical outlet to recharge your device, whether it's a tablet or in this case, I'm using an action camera, so that's rechargeable. It's one of the types of cameras that is rechargeable with those power banks. Like if you take a regular camera, it might not be rechargeable, or it might, but this is definitely, from my guess would be, this is definitely rechargeable with a power bank, so you can charge it up. So if you're out in the field, you go camping or something in your tent, and you don't have, like if you're going primitive camping and you don't have the, like the hookups, you bring a power bank, and I guess you could use your car. A lot of cars nowadays have USB charging capabilities, but you can also have a power bank, or you can charge your power bank up from the car. But if you have the right cables for that, you have to charge your power bank up somehow, so I'm not really sure how all that's going to work. Obviously, you need two things. You need the ability to charge your power bank up, and you also need the ability to use your power bank to charge your device. So you need more than one type of cable, I think. Like one type would go to like a household outlet, would be my guess. Another type would go from your power bank to your device. But you also could use, like your car, USB to charge up something like a power bank. So I don't really know how all it's going to work out, but I think maybe that the power bank has like a micro USB in, and then the big USB in could go into some kind of adapter to charge that up, and then you could use that same cable to go, so your power bank would have to have like two ports, and the other port would be like for full-size USB on one end, and then your micro cable to your device, or you could use the device that you normally use with your cable to charge up. So I don't really know what this thing's going to be like. I'll have to see it when I get it. So we'll find out the answer to all those mysterious questions. But you probably know if you know about this thing, but $1.99, that's really cheap. So I'm looking forward to that. I mean, it's not a big expenditure, but I'm really kind of excited about it. And just also going to Best Buy and looking at all this stuff and thinking about getting something one of these days. Well, I'm always getting stuff, And I would rather be working on my capability to make videos, though, because I have so much video making equipment already. I mean, I just have a ton of it. I've spent, I don't know, maybe well over $1,000. I've spent maybe, who knows, by now I've probably spent, somewhere close to $1,500 since I got started on this. So I've spent a lot of money on equipment, and it doesn't do you any good to be obsessed with buying equipment, which is, I think, is a very, very exciting thing. I love that in and of itself, obviously, or I wouldn't be doing it. But what you really need to do, if you want to be a successful YouTube artist or whatever, you need to work on the art and the practice of making videos and making successful videos. You can't just buy equipment and sit back and think that your equipment's going to do it for you. I think I already have more than enough equipment I will ever need to be a successful YouTube artist. So I really need to work out my talent, my ability to make these YouTube videos. But just want to show you how beautiful the view is over there. Look at that, wonderful. I'm going to come out to the edge of this and see. Now this camera is supposed to, now I lost my echo when I'm coming out here, but this camera is supposed to adapt to the changing light conditions, because it's an action camera. It's a good one. It's a Sony, and it's supposed to adapt to, I'm going to have my head under the shade of my hand way out here, but it's supposed to adapt to the changing conditions. So when you go inside, theoretically, when you're in lower lux, it's, I guess what they call it, lux level. I don't want to fall over backwards if I trip on something, but if you go into a lower light situation, this thing is supposed to adapt to that. But it can get confusing, because if you have, like I said, like this background, I have light all around me. So if you have light outside and you're in the shade, it throws it off. That's the one kind of situation. I had this other camera where I made an indoor video, and there were no really lights on, I think, but I was near a big outdoor door, a window door, and there was a lot of light outside, and the device kept changing on me, like it was changing the USB, and it was changing everything, and as a result, it just kept changing from like highlight to low light and highlight to low light, and it was like this wave form of function where it was like going from dark to bright to dark to bright all over me, like it was searching for the right, lighting adjustment within itself, and it just couldn't settle on anything. It would try one thing, and then it would go the other way, and then it would go to the back and forth. So I don't know if this Sony is going to do that here, though. This is a different device. But I had this other device, my Olympus outdoor rugged camera, tough camera is what they call them. And I had it right here where I am standing. It was a bright sunny day, and I had it on, and it was goofy. Like it looked like I was too dark, and then the outside was too light. But I don't know if the Sony is going to be different. This is a video camera, and it's not just any video camera. It's an action camera, which is designed for outdoor use. So it's going to be different, maybe, from the rugged camera. Well, the rugged camera takes good video too, but it's primarily a camera that also takes video, whereas this is primarily a video camera that can also take pictures. And by the way, this does take nice pictures. But the thing about this Sony is it has like different, you can basically, you say you can't zoom in with these action cameras, but in a way you can, because you can vary the field, the angle of view. Like you can have it 170 degrees or 120 degrees. And with steady shot, which is what I have it on now, it's 120 degrees. That means if like my hand shakes a little bit or I'm moving it around a bit, it won't look as jittery. But if you have, and this is really good, this is an action camera, so it's got to have some of the very best image stabilization ever. I mean, this is something that you would put on your bicycle and have all this bumpiness or something and still try to have the steadiest possible shot. So if you want like what they call image stabilization, this is like the ultimate in image stabilization would be an action camera, like a good one. And I read that the earlier Sonys outperformed the earlier GoPros. And I don't know if the later GoPros ended up having better image stabilization than the earlier GoPros, but Sony had the best image stabilization, I think, when compared with GoPro. So you definitely are getting some of the best ever image stabilization. And this is another thing that makes your image more stable is a wide angle of view, because the wider the angle, well, I'll give you an extreme counterexample so you can see my point is, if you were going to zoom way in on something like 5 power, 10 power, 20 power zoom, the more you zoom, every little movement you make with the camera is exaggerated all the more. So as you zoom in an increasingly large amount, you get increasingly more disturbance of your picture with just the slightest movement. Whereas if you zoom out, then it's less and less. So as you get a wider angle of view, you take more and more in, and everything gets smaller and smaller. Then a small movement or some movement will make much less of a disturbance on your final video picture. So, or even photos. If you're taking photos, you won't have less blurriness. You won't have as much blurriness. You'll have less blurriness. So anyway, yeah, this thing then, this is really good for image stabilization. I like it. It's really light. It weighs somewhere around 2 ounces without the battery and like 2.9 ounces with the battery and SD card, which is what I have now, but it's also in the case. Now the case weighs something too, so I don't know what the total weight is, but it's still pretty light. And I got this really nice case for it. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. I got this on sale at Walmart, and this action camera fits in here just perfectly. It's really nice and padded. And I got this, it has this thing so you can strap it on yourself, carry it around like a little purse or something, but you're not supposed to get these things closer than about 1 foot to whatever you're filming or photographing, because it's like focus is limited to like 1 foot or further distance. But I've actually done this a little bit in practice. I think you can get a bit closer, really. Well, so I don't know, I'm just trying to think about things to talk about. I love talking, and it's good to do it, get into the practice of doing it. So I'm out here at this wonderful park. I think I'm going to go on shopping in a while, but this is really great. Just wonderful to be out here today. And this is the solstice, so I want to wish you all a really happy solstice. Have a super great time. I'm going to use the restroom and head on out. And it's good to do some talking, because if you got yourself talking, that's bound to help you make better videos. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off and have a great time. Thanks a lot for everything. Appreciate your viewership.